All right, hello and a pleasant good morning to you coming from Tony'sPicks.com and welcome to Night Moves here for Friday, February 13th. We're not going to be here for a long time, but we're here for a good time as we preview college basketball action here for Friday night, and I'll find some other sports to talk about as well over the next, maybe we can get this done in 30 or 45 minutes here. We've only got about 5 or 6 games that I plan on taking a look at for the Friday basketball cards. Some of the best action around the country here on a light Friday as we get ready for a big Saturday of college basketball action. And we're also heading into the All Star break here in the NBA. So, no games for 10 days or for 7 days. Basically, next Thursday, I think, is when they resume play. So we do have some action tonight at the NBA All Star Weekend. We have the Rising Stars Challenge, and maybe we'll even make a pick there. I was looking for something to get on here tonight, if you know what I mean, with some of the light action tomorrow. So thank you for joining me here on Night Moves. Wait for a few people to come in here. Nobody's really here yet, just a handful of you. So maybe we could talk about a little bit of last night's action and maybe even some Olympics here. Saw some great action there. Chloe Kim ended up, she didn't get it done there in the half pipe, but the men will go at it here. Also, it's Speed Week. If you're a NASCAR fan, Kyle Busch grabs the pole at Daytona. He's winless in 20 Daytona races heading into Sunday, but we do have uh, racing here this weekend. There's also some soccer action tomorrow, some domestic league play there. I had a winner in the EPL over at Tony'sPicks.com yesterday, so why don't I fire on over there and take a look at what's going on over at Tony's Picks. Let's see who's hot. Take a look at the handicapper leaderboards. I had a pretty good day here. I'm on a pretty good roll right now over at Tony's Picks. So why not pump up me and the crew, see what's going on over at the website, Tony'sPicks.com, where we share our premium picks every day over at Tony's Picks. You know, you can see me on a few other channels and a few other shows, but my best picks every day are right here at Tony's Picks. My number one uh, boutique plays, high roller premiums here. Take a look at the handicapper leaderboards here for Thursday, and you see Vegas Al. Look at this. Vegas Al there, plus 327. You know, he was rolling some dogs there. I'm not saying Vegas Al was in on it, but if anybody saw the second half, I don't think the Thunder are in tank mode. I think they're just already hit the All Star break, but the Thunder basically quit there in the second half, and Al had the Bucks on the money line there yesterday. Why not? They beat them by 14-point dogs. They beat them by 17. We're never headed in the game there. We did roll the total there. I think we're 3-0 here with our picks on Night Moves last night. I'm trying to pump these up there. You see me 4-1 with my premiums over there at Tony's Picks. Shane Mickle 3-0. Ron Crawford 4-1. There's Rod Zawacki 2-0. Joey Tron 2-0. Kevin Thomas 2-0. Stacks McKelvey 2-0. Brian Bitler 1-0. VIP account 1-0. Ron Hahn 1-0. Look at these winners here. Doubles Shooty 2-1 and Nick Lagaretos 3-2 yesterday. Last 7 days over at Tony's Picks, I'm on top of the handicapper leaderboards, up over 10 and a quarter units there, nearly 65% winners over the last week. Nick Lagaretos up 10 units. Stacks McKelvey up there over 4 and a third units. Double Shooty also with a winning percentage there. Shane Mickle, Ron Crawford in the green. 3-0 yesterday here on Night Moves in the NBA. We had the Bucks and the Thunder to go under, and well, since the Thunder didn't bother trying offensively in the second half, it stayed well under the 214 there. Also, we had the over on the show last night with Portland and Utah. I said there'd be a 250 points in that game. I was wrong. There was 254 points in that game yesterday. We had the over, and yeah, we had the Lakers there. LeBron setting records. Anytime he does something, it's a record, right? The oldest player to do whatever. And LeBron with a triple double last night. became the oldest player to get a triple-double. I guess the next time he does it, he'll be the oldest player still to get a triple-double. LeBron, and we're ready for All-Star Weekend. It's in LA. It's at the Intuit Dome, though, home of the Clippers there. And there is action tonight, like I said, with the Rising Stars Challenge. 4 teams playing a 3-team format. And also tonight, there's one game on the College Board we'll talk about that's being played as part of the celebration in LA, the HBCU game, a coastal game tonight at the Intuit Dome before they get that other activity started. So we'll preview that one as well. So, hey, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off all premium pick packages, including mine, here on Friday. Take a look at those leaderboards there for the last 30 days. Stephen Duncan, he can't wait. He's got to wait it out here until we get done with the Olympic break, although he's been focused on the Olympic hockey on some of his other shows. Nick Lagaretos has been crushing here. Stax McKelvey's up there for the last month. Double shooting, and I'm up there as well. 15 units. Joey Tron doesn't need a 10.99. He's up 10.99 right there. And we got some other profitable cappers here over at Tony'sPicks.com. So check us out by clicking on the All Cappers tab. Find the handicapper of your choice. Click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up. I'd suggest you go with the 3-day All Sports Premium Pass from me right now for $99. And we're going to fire away here in college basketball. And I've been hot in soccer as well. I had the under today in the matchup between Arsenal and Brentford. We're going to roll it again tomorrow. I don't know if I have a premium tomorrow with the card. There is games in the Bundesliga tomorrow. Also, Serie A, La Liga has a game as well. League One has 2 matchups. But we'll see if I have a premium on the. I wish I knew for sure. I wish I did. I'm not sure I'm gonna. It's a light card, but these games were some of them are kind of one-sided here. There is some good action around the world here with some of the other events, though, including the Olympic Games. So a U.S. star, Ilia Malini, of course, a man who does the somersaults, even though he doesn't need to. He's going to go for the gold in the men's free skate event on Friday, but I'm looking to bet some of these events here on Friday as well, including here my picks here for some Olympic events here, if you can stand it. Let me bring it back here. There you go. You won't find these on Tony's Picks, but I did look at some of the events and bet on them here a little bit. Men's 10K cross-country skiing, interval start with Hedegaard of Norway. He is minus $1.20. You can expect a Norwegian sweep there in that one. Biathlon men's 10K sprint. I'm going to go with the Italian here at 5-1. Tommaso Giacomel at 5-1 in the men's 10K biathlon sprint. Snowboarding women's cross here. I'm going to go with Josie Bath here at 6-1. The Australian here. This is a event dominated here. I'm going to go with Bath at 6-1. Also, men's half pipe. Scotty James is going to win that. We know that. He's minus 500. I don't know if we can find any value in there. But speed skating men's 10K. I'm going to go with Giotto of Italy minus $1.40 here. It's pretty much a 2-man run here with Jelic of Czechia, but I'm going to take Giotto here at minus $1.40. And skeleton, they call it skeleton for a reason. You basically are heading down the ice on a thin a thin piece of blades, and you're going head first. And I've got here Flock of Austria at 5-1 to upset Pfeiffer of Germany. I'm going to take a 5-1 shot with Flock of Austria there as well. There's also Olympic hockey here. We saw some great action, didn't we, there on Thursday with the U.S. taking care of business. I don't think my picks were very good, actually, here, but I'm going to roll again here with early action on the men's side at the Olympic Games here with men's events early on. This one begins here in about 3 hours. It'll be Slovenia and Italy here in this one. And I think I'm going to end up here on the under 6 goals with Slovakia. I said Slovenia. I think it's Slovakia here. You got to get that one. You got to get that right. Slovakia here and Italy in this one. Look, Slovakia could also cover this number. I think at 3.5. So maybe that is the better pick. Actually, Slovakia minus 3.5. They have 7 NHL players on that team. They beat Finland 4-1, and they have Slavkovsky on the offense here for Slovakia. So Italy allowed 51 shots to Sweden and needed 46 saves just to keep it respectable. So that's not sustainable. So maybe Slovakia is the better play, and then maybe a little bit of under 6 goals. You got to figure 4-1 or 5-1, probably the score in that one. Also, Sweden and Finland here will be the second game at the same time. Actually, these two are being played at the same time here with Sweden and Finland here. I think I'm going to go under 5.5 in this one with Sweden and Finland. This one's going to be tight for sure. I still think Sweden wins. They're about $1.85 on the money line here, and on the puck line they're minus 1.5 at plus 135. So look, it could be 3-1 here for Sweden. 3-1 or 4-1 seems very plausible. I don't know, 2-1 or 3-2 might be cutting it too close. I think the better play is the under, and maybe secondary play Sweden on the puck line. Maybe you could make a little -1 out of that. But look, the thing is, Finland lost to Slovakia, remember, 4-1. No doubt Finland without, missing players here as well coming in. There's some missing players here, but for Sweden, they've got Zibanejad and Nylander and Hedman. So I think the overall rivalry of this game matters a lot. 5 of the last 6 major tournament meetings between these two teams have gone to overtime. So maybe a 1-goal game is a solution there, but I think Sweden does take it, and maybe in an under here. I think it's 5.5 under at minus $1.30. Some of the sharp books are minus $1.20. Look, Finland's got the defense. We know that with Heiskanen and Gustafsson in net here. That should help keep it low, but I still think Sweden can get the win here over Finland in this one. All right, and you guys can give me your picks as well at the Olympic Games here. Also tomorrow, Czechia and France going at it. And I think in that one, Czechia, pretty big favorite there. I'd have to think Czechia can roll there in that one. Probably got to figure right now with that lineup that they're putting out there, those guys, Pasta, Natchez, Hurdle, Palat. This is a gold medal looking team right now here. So I'm going to probably take Czechia there in that one. France has got some scoring in Tessier and Bellemare, but I'm going to go with Czechia there. And then Switzerland and Canada in men's play tomorrow as well. I'd probably look to Switzerland in that one. I know I failed going against those major teams today, but look, Max Celebrini got the goal there. Bennington was strong as well, but Switzerland posted a shutout too, 4-0 in their last game with Meyer there, and Giannoni looks sharp. So the Swiss roster is pretty deep than some of their other Olympic appearances. I think I like Switzerland +3 at minus $1.20 tomorrow at the Olympic Games. Women's action as well. Sweden and Czechia. I'm going back to Czechoslovakia is how old I am. But Tomorrow on the women's side, Sweden and Czechia. I'd probably look to go under there in that game with Sweden and Czechia at 4.5 goals at minus $1.25. I'd really rather take 5 goals, but you got to lay $1.75 if you can stand it. That does feel a little bit more where I want to be, I think, in that game. Sweden's coming off a strong defensively in this tournament so far with a plus 14 goal differential as well. Czechia struggled offensively and only one win, but they have a Peslarova in goal that's done pretty well. So maybe under there, but it's the total seems like it's dropping here all night right now in that one. Although 4.5. Some of the books, if you can get a little plus money on that 4.5 under, I'd probably get that right away. There, plus $1.25 there in that one. And then, and these are, by the way, these are quarterfinal games. It'll be the United States and Italy. Now, look, U.S. looks sharp, of course. They've outscored their opponents 20-1. 3 straight 5-0 wins. Why wouldn't this one be 5-0? It actually might be a little bit bigger of a win, I would think, right now against Italy. Maybe they can use some home ice to their advantage. If Italy can get 1 goal, I think it'll go over. The total is 7.5. I'd probably go over before I'd lay the goal spread here with the United States in that one. The U.S. is going to be, they're a pretty big favorite for sure. Right now at minus 7 goals at minus $1.25. So look, it's going to be more than 5-0, I would think, tomorrow. And if Italy gets 1 goal, it will go over. I think over is my preferred play. U.S., it's going to be 7-0 or 7-1, I would guess, tomorrow in that game. So it makes it a little bit tough, but maybe the over is a little bit better play than the United States at minus 7 at minus $1.25. Hey, everyone. We got some folks in here, man. We got a few of you in here. There's Stacks McKelvey. Okay, he was no plays yet. We'll get Stacks on here in the future. Be joining me there. Good morning to Stacks. Getting rolling here. Mr. Wesker says Lakers and OKC are bad all year, and here they are, the Lakers winning again every night there. They cut Dallas some slack. They were without Cooper Flagg, and he will miss the Rising Stars event tomorrow. Jimmy Two Shoes, hello. So bummer for Cooper Flagg there, but he's having such a great year. Too bad he's not in the All-Star game. He certainly feels like he should be, right? Also, let's see here who else is in with me tonight. We're going to just, like I said, we don't have a lot to talk about, so I'm trying to pull some games out here, pull some games out of my Andrew K. is here today. Oh, my gosh, is it Friday the 13th? Oh, no. We better double down. Look at Andrew. Dun, 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 spanning the globe. He's got, he wants Ingemar Stenmark and Franz Klammer in the downhill. That's how old Andrew K. is. And let's see here. Stacks talking about Sweden there in regulation there. And don't forget, we got men's and women's tomorrow with Sweden, although I know that he's talking there in the men's game, I believe, right? Men's game, I think, there. And let's see, Timmy talking about some of those. Man, it was a great setup there for the Canadians there yesterday on the men's side. We saw the women also win 5-0 to wrap up the play there on the women's side. Remember, they had to play this game. The only reason they played this game today and have Canada come right back is remember that game was canceled when they had that illness breakout with Finland in the first day of the preliminary round. So today, United States won over Latvia 5-1 on the men's side, and Canada won over Czechia 5-0. There, Switzerland over France 4-0. Germany over Denmark 3-1. We're covering it all here on Night Moves. We'll get to those NBA games in just a moment. Cal Dog says 6-1. It stays under the 7.5 right there. That unfortunately, right, Cal, the score is going to be right in that right in that margin. So it might be a little bit of gambling going on if you wanted to play these games with this spread, but it's pretty much going to be right there. I mean, so you just got to be on the right side of things, I guess. I mean, it's not like it's going to be 4-3 or anything like that. It's just a matter of how many goals in there. And man, Timmy Choo Shoes Canada look good. Hello to Andre in the chat. Old Gapper talking about, hey, we're talking some England, some events there. All right, men's Sweden, no problem. No, yeah, I read it right. And let's see here, and Andre talking a little soccer action there. Okay, few more notes I wanted to. We're gonna go. I'm previewing 6 college basketball games, but I'm talking Rising Stars Challenge first stop here on Friday night. I want to talk a little bit here. I almost like the Rising Stars Challenge better than the All-Star game. I know that kind of seems, you know. I don't want to say I'm not down playing the All-Star game. We're going to talk about it a little bit, but got here Team Vince and Team T-Mac. These are the coaches of the teams, Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady, of course. And also you have Team Mello and Team Austin. That's Carmelo Anthony and Austin and Austin. What's his name of his dad? Rivers, Austin Rivers. He's the coach. Only to make sure. Okay, so here's the thing. So first team to reach 40 points in the first 2 games, and then the championship game requires just 25 points to win the game. So the first 2 games have some lines on them, actually. So maybe we could preview those. Team Austin, coached by Austin Rivers, is a team made up of G League All-Stars, including Sean East of Salt Lake City, Yang Hansen of Rip City, Ron Harper Jr. of Maine, Elijah Martin of the Raptors, Mac McClung, who actually I think has signed his NBA contract so that he can be in the dunk contest, of course, Tristan Newton of Rio Grande Valley, and my man Yannick Conan Niederhauser of the Clippers. They're going to roster a 7 there. For Team Mello, Ace Bailey of the Jazz. He replaced Cooper Flagg, actually. Stephon Castle of San Antonio. Donovan Clingan of Portland. Castle and Clingan have been battling a little bit of injury here, right? You got Fears of New Orleans, Harper of San Antonio, Murray Boyles of Toronto, and Reed Shepard of the Rockets. So, look, the G League team hung in there last year. They actually won the first round game 40-39. So I'm going to look to go over there in the game between Team Mello and Team Austin. They played 79 in the G League game last year, and they hung in there. G League team eventually lost in the final, so we'll see if they can beat them. But hey, you're also getting 5.5 points, and maybe there's a little something to it with the G League team. And like I said, Castle, we saw Bailey, though. Man, did he have a play last night, didn't he? But I don't know. Castle was injured here this past week as well. So I might consider taking the G League team there as well. I mean, these games aren't going to be blowouts, are they? You know, you'd have to beat them here like 40-34 to cover 5.5. So I don't know. I like the over. I like Team Austin there in that one. And then with Team Vince and Team T-Mac, Team T-Mac has had 2 injury substitutions. They've lost A.J. Mitchell and Alex Sarr. We already talked about it earlier this week. Risha Shea joins the, that's kind of embarrassing that he wasn't on this team, one of these teams to begin with, right? But Risha Shea, Bub Carrington get into the lineup for Team T-Mac. Trey Johnson as well, Con Kneppel. Everybody's kind of liking Team T-Mac because of Kneppel here a little bit. Cam Spencer, Jalen Tyson, and Khalil Ware for Team T-Mac. For Team Vince, Buzelis of the Bulls, Coward of the Grizzlies, Damon of the Nets, Edgecombe of the Sixers, Keyshawn George has kind of been banged up as well right here for Team Vince. Also, Derek Queen for Team Vince, and Jalen Wells is on Team Vince. So this one's a little tougher, I think, for me here, but I like Team Vince plus 2.5 here in this one. Look, like I said, you have 2 replacement players. There's no problem. I don't know if you have much of a decline there with Mitchell and Sarr out, replaced by Risha, Shea, and Carrington. After all, Kneppel has been so good, but maybe this is coming out for Edgecombe here on that Team Vince, and also with Derek Queen. So I'm going to take Team Vince plus 2.5. You guys like the Rising Stars here? Give me your plays in the chat. See if you guys are up for it. All right, there we go with LALVs joining us here in the chat. And how about the great, good tennis action here. We're kind of skipping around here a little bit with all of our other sports, but some great tennis action there last night. How about Iga? Got into a little bit of controversy there. Didn't admit to double hitting the ball. Come on, Iga. There's replay. You're just embarrassing yourself. Maybe she didn't know. She got the win. She actually got the cover of the game spread after losing the first set. But she was able to cover the game spread. We got some nice matches today as well, including some great action here with Mboko going up against Ostapenko on the women's side here is one of the featured matchups. Taylor Fritz and Sebastian Korda as action continues in Dallas. All right. And let's see who else. Anybody else? Otherwise, we might want to get started. I do want to touch a little bit of golf as well. And I don't know what's going on, but all of a sudden, Zsa Zsa Gabor, I believe, is being talked about in the chat here, I believe. That's kind of scary. Okay. Real quick, I just want to touch on the golf here after the first round. I don't think my picks were doing very well there with our 7 picks that we discussed here on the show, although we do got a couple that snuck up there, still hanging in there near the contention in the leaderboard, at least there yesterday. But right now, the leader is Hissa Sune, who continues to play well here right now. Got her up also 2 strokes back. Scotty is way back. This is where you want to take Scotty, everybody. I mean, look, he almost did it last week, right? And you still could have got him late, and he was coming on charging like a freight train. And I think you could also look to get Scotty here again right now in this tournament. I mean, right now he's 25-1. He is well back, no doubt about it, but he's not out of contention. He just shot a high score there yesterday, shot a 72, even par. So he is way back, no doubt about it. 10 strokes back, but again, some of these guys ran. Hissa Sune ran a 62 there yesterday. That's not going to happen again at Pebble Beach. Bradley 63, Sam Burns 63 as well. And also, just want to note, I'm going to do it all weekend here. Anthony Kim shot a 67 yesterday. Today, just finished up in about an hour ago at Live Adelaide, and he is right now 3 strokes back of John Rahm. Anthony Kim, big time comeback in his career. Former young phenom that dropped off the face of the earth, quite frankly, with a drug problem, and is back here looking strong here after joining the 4 aces. And he's 3 strokes back behind John Rahm, Campbell, and Bryson in the top 4 at Live Adelaide. Okay. We've only got some covered a few games here for you. I hope that's okay that we talk some other sports here tonight with not a lot of sports going on. There's also a little bit of other action going on as well with some of the other Olympic sports there yesterday, and also more baseball today with more pitchers and catchers reporting. Can't wait for that. Also, college baseball season starts here on Friday. So let's see what have in store with Friday starters. We may cover some of the stuff here on the channel. I don't know if we're covering it necessarily with Tony's picks right now. We have in the past, but I'm not sure yet. Also, North Carolina forward Caleb Wilson out with a fractured hand. That's big news on the college basketball front. Okay, let's go to our 6 games here right now. And hey, there's Shane Sheldon in the chat right now. He says, "Stay away from those Phoenix Suns, Ramon." There wasn't Phoenix, right? I mean, they didn't play last night, but maybe you meant the night before when they didn't get it done, right? Okay. Andrew's ready for some college baseball. Yeah, we got some great. You talk about some great weekend series lined up here already to go tonight, including Oklahoma and Texas A&M to get the season started. TCU and Vanderbilt as well. A lot of these are neutral site games. Actually, they go on the road and play in the bigger stadiums here. There's a big tournament in Arlington, Texas, where several of the teams are playing. We also have, I think, Seton Hall and Boston College are being played in Puerto Rico. How about that? There as well. Stanford and Arizona. So good college baseball action. Andre wants the picks already, but I didn't quite get that far just yet. Okay, but he's going to take Oklahoma. In the game against Texas Tech. They're minus $1.40 there tomorrow. Some of the action begins actually. Wake Forest plays at 9 a.m. Eastern in that series in Puerto Rico. They play Houston, and Wake Forest starts at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. So playing a whole series of games there. Okay, let's go to the colleges here. We only got 6 games. Try to look at the best ones here for Friday. And I'm heading out to the MAAC here. Pretty much just trying to pick the best game out of each conference, or if the teams are kind of in contention anyway. And I think that's definitely the case here in this one with Quinnipiac and Siena. These 2 teams are currently in 3rd and 4th place, respectively, here in the MAAC coming in. Quinnipiac is 10-5. They're in 4th place. Siena's 10-4. They're in 3rd place. Quinnipiac has won 3 in a row here over Fairfield, Canisius, and Niagara. They are 1-1-1 against the spread in those games, but they're 8-5 against the spread on the road. Meanwhile, for Siena here, Siena lost last time out 70-65 on the road at St. Peter's. That ended a winning streak actually for Siena. They had been pretty hot here. They are 14-11 against the spread overall. Talking about the Siena Saints. Siena's gone under in 14 of 22 games as a favorite, although Quinnipiac also is a team that trends under for the most part. They are 5-3 to the over as a dog. Siena's just, Quinnipiac is 2-6-1 against the spread in their last 9 games overall. They've won 5 of their last 7 and also won 4 out of the last 5 meetings against Siena. For Siena here, they're 6-2 in their last 8 straight up at home. They've won 6 of 7 overall, including that little winning streak they had before the loss to St. Peter's. 7 of the last 10 meetings between the 2 teams have gone over, but like I said, Quinnipiac, they have gone under in 5 of their last 6. I'm going to go under in this one with Quinnipiac and Siena at 143 here on Night Moves. These 2 teams are a combined 20-30 to the under this season. I'll take the under here in this one. The 2 teams have not yet met this season. All right. Yeah, Andre likes Siena here. Cal Dog liking Siena. Tickle the Ivies here with Yale and Dartmouth. This feels like the most significant game in the Ivy League here on Friday night. Yale comes in 6-2 in first place, tied with Harvard. Now Harvard plays last place Brown, but Yale plays Dartmouth, who is 4-4 in the Ivy League. Coming in, of course, Dick Townsend, likely Player of the Year, I would think, in the Ivy League for Yale. For Yale here, they come in here. 18-4 overall. Dartmouth is 10-11 coming in. Yale off back-to-back wins over Brown and Howard. Although they did not cover, they were laying too many points in those games. And Yale is just 8-10 against the spread as a favorite. Although they are 6-4 against the spread on the road, they've won 6 of their last 7, but just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5. They're usually just favored by too many points. Meanwhile, for Dartmouth here, they're off of a loss to Harvard. They beat Brown before that, but they've lost 3 of their last 4. In fact, these two teams just met on January 30th. It was 83-68. Yale won, and it was pretty much a push. It landed right on 15 there. But previous 2 meetings, Yale won last year. Same thing. Yale won, did not cover. Favored by too many points. Dartmouth covered them both last year. So, look, you're getting 9 here with Dartmouth. Dartmouth's 8-4 against the spread in their last 12, although just 2-4 straight up in their last 4, as we mentioned, in their last 6, as we mentioned there. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under, and that total is pretty high, but it may be still. It feels like to me possibly a high-scoring game. It's just that Dartmouth is 1-7 to the under at home right now, so I'm going to end up just taking Dartmouth here against Yale. Yeah, Yale's on a good groove here for sure, but again, they never seem to be able to get the money, just favored by too many points. So I kind of like the over, but Dartmouth is a hardcore under at home. Yale is 6-4, the over on the road. The first meeting did go under 154.5 in that one. I mentioned that score ended up 151 points, so it went under by 3 points in that first meeting. You're welcome to comment on this one between Yale and Dartmouth. The Ivies, huh? Timmy Two Shoes not sure he can get off Yale. Andre says Yale on the money line and Dartmouth covers barely. Also, Timmy's talking the St. Louis game. Yeah, I didn't want to preview that one. Look, not only they win, they seem to cover, and Loyola Chicago's had an awful year, ATS for sure. All right, Cal Dog says maybe Yale, but that spread, huh? All right, next up. By George, we're going to go out here to the action between George Mason and George Washington here on Friday. Why not? We take a look here at this one with Mason on the road. An underdog here at George Washington's. Very interesting, right? If you think about it right now, the way these two teams are looking, I'd have to kind of I'm not going to question the line here necessarily between these two. I mean, George Washington here at home, favored by 2.5 right now, and the total here is 148. Currently in the A10 standings, Mason here 9-3. They are trailing St. Louis by 2.5 games. Does feel like St. Louis is too strong for the league this year. VCU in second place. St. Louis does play, as we mentioned, but they're playing last place Loyola Chicago, so we're not going to look at that one. But Mason here is in third place, and George Washington is at 5-7 coming into this one. See what you have with these two. George Washington's 14-11 straight up this season, and George Mason 21-4. Coming into this one, they've had a great year, of course, but man, they're underdogs here. George Washington was on a losing streak before they won last time out. 75-70 is a 5.5-point favorite against Rhode Island. They still didn't cover the spread in that one. They've actually failed to cover in 4 straight games. coming into this one. For George Mason here, they're actually coming in off of a loss. They've lost 2 of their last 3. They lost to Richmond on the road, 82-70, as a 3.5-point favorite. So maybe they've shown some vulnerability here. Again, 2 of their 4 losses this season have come in the last 3 games. For G-Dub here, they've gone just 1-4 straight up and against the spread in their last 5, but they still have won 12 of their last 15 games at home. George Mason comes in here 16-4 in their last 20, as I said. Also, Mason has won 5 straight in this series, covering 4 of them here. These 2 teams met on January 19th, and it was 69-64. Mason got the win at home, but I believe George Washington got the money in that one. Still, George Mason, like I said, 4-1 against the spread against George Washington in the last 5 meetings, winning all 5 games. Mason has gone over in 5 of their last 6 on the road, but George Washington has gone under in 6 of their last 7 overall. I'm going to take the over in this game. There's not a lot of trends that necessarily say over. Mason is 5-2 to the over on the road. I'm going to take the over here. I would try to. Mason getting points. Maybe it's a tarp. See what you got here in this one. With LALB, Jimmy Two Shoes likes George Washington here. LALB's on Mason, and Andre likes George Washington as well. Justin says maybe it is George Washington. They're favored in this game. They're obviously have a worse record than them, and they're a favorite here. So maybe the sharps, maybe the line's telling you something here. And Mr. Wesker says he loves the NBA All-Star break. Cal Dog on GW here. Also, Nexus is here today. Says this is the 1-800-GAMBLER game. Well, I'll tell you what. This ain't though. I got the 1-800-GAMBLER game coming up. All right. Let's see here. Any more comments in the chat? Andre talking about that Loyola Chicago game about with St. Louis in there. Says they'll kind of get up for this game. And let's see. That's it in that one. Next up. Got the big one of the night here with Michigan State taking on Wisconsin. 10th ranked Michigan State coming in here with a record of 20-4 overall. I mean, this isn't an earth-shattering game necessarily because we know Wisconsin, although there's no doubt Wisconsin is playing a lot better here of late right now. They're up to 9-4 here. Actually, it feels like a bit of a surprise. I mean, they're 17-7. If Michigan State is ranked 10th, look, you got Nebraska in there, obviously Purdue, Illinois, and Michigan atop the standings, but Wisconsin's ready to make their move, it feels like right now. With Coach Guard here, the team, it feels like they're in a little bit of a good groove. Yeah, they lost to Indiana. They did lose to USC at home, but against Purdue was their only other conference loss here. So, Michigan State comes in with 3 conference losses. Wisconsin with just 4 conference losses right now. Michigan State, of course, won last time out over Illinois in that a great game at home, 85-82. What a game it was there for Wisconsin here. Meanwhile, they come in off of a win, 92-90 over Illinois on the road. A signature win there in that one. And Wisconsin's actually won 2 of their last 3 and covered 3 straight. Michigan State's actually 1-3 against the spread in their last 4 coming in. Wisconsin's covered 7 of their last 10. Coming into this one, I got to think Wisconsin can win this game. They got some momentum going here right now. And in the Big Ten, I always love a little home cooking here. And I think I'm going to have to take Wisconsin here in this one at a pick 'em. Maybe they're getting a point here. Feels like it's down to a pick 'em here right now. But For Wisconsin here, they've won 8 of their last 10, 12 of their last 14 at home. They're 7-3 against the spread, as I said, in their last 10 games. Meanwhile, for Michigan State, they have won 12 of the last 18 meetings between these two teams. They've also won 12 of their last 16 on the road and 16 of their last 20 overall coming in. Meanwhile, Michigan State's gone over in 4 of their last 5. Wisconsin's gone over in 6 of their last 9, but I don't think this one's going over. But let me take Wisconsin as my play here on Night Moves. I'm going to take the Badgers at home, and we're going to see, and it's been different. Wisconsin, they don't play that same kind of tempo here, but I think this one's going to get a little clunky. See what we have in the chat here in this one. All right, and it's going to be Nexus does say Michigan State to get it done here. Well, Timmy Chusha is going to stay at home, and Andre does like Michigan State. I think Mr. Wesker may like Michigan State as well. Cal Dog on Michigan State here. Oh, man, a lot of Michigan State support. Yeah, Justin talked about the overtime game there with Illinois and Wisconsin last time out. And also Michigan State's game there. I guess they were both against Illinois. Is that right? They both played. Yeah, that was just it, right? Illinois lost the 2 overtime games. So Michigan State, better team period here. And Andre likes the under here in this one. And Nexus says he thinks it's a fake sharp play here a little bit with Wisconsin today. And Justin says he likes what he sees from the way Izzo's got this team playing. All right, that could be it for this one. And let's move on. We're going to talk about the best team in the country, you guys. We can't not. Let's go to the MAC and talk about the Miami of Ohio Redhawks here, coming in here 24-0. The rumor mill was hot on Thursday that several Miami of Ohio players were going to miss this game because they had to go to a sorority dance, but that is false. They will have their team intact here for the 23rd ranked Miami of Ohio Redhawks here. Obviously undefeated. They've been covering their numbers too. 11-6 against the spread as a favorite. 7-4 against the spread at home. Ohio did have a couple of wins here recently over Buffalo and Western Michigan. They did lose to ODU in the MAC challenge game there. By the way, Miami of Ohio played Marshall, a former MAC member, in their Sun Belt MAC challenge game, but. Or let's see, was that right? Yeah, in the Sun Belt MAC Challenge game there, and they were, of course, won. But Ohio U lost to ODU. Ohio U is actually just 9-14 against the spread, 3-7 against the spread on the road, and 2-7 against the spread as an underdog. By the way, we're talking Miami of Ohio because they are obviously one of the one of the best teams to talk about. It's been a great season. We know they're not up there. They're really probably not even the 23rd best team in the country or whatever their ranking is, but you got to give them a little bit of respect for what they're doing right now. It's just that despite the fact that they do come in here at undefeated, they're only a game ahead of Akron. Now, Akron plays UMass at home. They should be able to take care of UMass, but UMass is over 500 and they're 6-6 in conference play. So obviously Akron there is we could have looked at that game as well, I think, here in the MAC today. Akron, though, is a 13-point favorite over UMass, and Miami of Ohio here is 10-point favorites, and the total 163 here in this one. What do you think with Ohio and Miami of Ohio here as Miami of Ohio? The bubble's got to burst sometime, doesn't it? Is it going to be this one? These two teams have not yet met this season, but Ohio won the last meeting. In fact, Ohio's won 3 of the last 4 meetings between these two teams. Ohio is 10-1-1 against the spread in the last 12 meetings with Miami of Ohio, winning 10 of the last 12 meetings straight up. Wow. Miami of Ohio is 13-5 against the spread in their last 18 games. Ohio just 2-6 against the spread in their last 8. I got to take Ohio U here, even if it has been a little bit of a. I'm not. It's not a down season. I mean, they're still 13-12 here, and you got to think though. There's got to be a little bit of something to the series history, the caliber of play. Yes, this Miami O team is awesome, but they've lost a few here for sure. They lost to UMass, who is kind of in the same boat as this Ohio team. They were at home against UMass last couple weeks ago, laying 9.5. They won by 2. And remember, they beat Buffalo on the road by 2. They did smash Northern Illinois. They beat Kent. Let's see what you got. Interesting game here. All right, here we go. And hey, hello to Billy in the chat. Great to have Billy joining us here, talking Houston Cougars basketball and Coach Sampson tonight. I think Andre's on the under here. Cal Dog says he's going to take Miami of Ohio and buy it down to 8.5 here to keep this streak going. And Andre says they got to slow the temp. They totally do, and they can, Andre. Look, these two teams are a little bit over for sure, especially Miami of Ohio. They're 13-4. The over is a favorite. 9-2 to the over at home. But I think Ohio has to slow this one down. The total, let me see what I have here. I think it's actually gone down here a little bit. I have shown 163 on screen, but I think we've seen a move here. Let me make sure on this one. Okay, that's 162.5, but there's still 163s out there as well. Okay, and Justin talking about the meeting there back last March. Ohio won it at home and covered the spread against them. I think Will's going to take Ohio here. Andre talking about Miami of Ohio and that high-powered offense. They're the number one 2-point field goal percentage team in the country. They're number 5 in 3-point percentage. Ohio is near the bottom in some offensive categories, so it is a true contrast of styles here. All right, I think Justin says he's on the Bobcats. LALV, though, is like in Miami of Ohio here for sure. And Jimmy says it's 10.5 where he is. And Andre, of course, she's going to like the advantage here with Coach Steele. 24-0 on the line here. All right, and Timmy Chushu likes Ohio plus the points. Cal Dog's going to take Miami O in the first half. All right. Well, man, I've got one more, and we're going to go take a look here. We're going to go to a great. It is a conference. It is a conference game here, but a little HBCU Classic celebration here with North Carolina A&T taking on Hampton. This one's being played at the Intuit Dome as part of the NBA weekend here. It's at 11 Eastern and 8 Pacific. I think this is actually after the Rising Stars Challenge, because I think that event actually, let me get the right game time on that. The Rising Stars Challenge begins at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. So you have the Rising Stars event and then the basketball. I would imagine actually this game will probably start a little bit later than this time, because I think the championship game is at 7:30 there, and they're not gonna. It's not something that's televised on the big broadcast. It will be televised here tomorrow on ESPN2. Here, so let's get into this one. A&T has lost 4 straight here right now to Monmouth, Drexel, College of Charleston, and Campbell. This is not a factor in the conference standings at all right now. Just a great game to have here with these schools. right now in the Coastal. Towson is, Hampton here is 6-6, and A&T is 2-10 here currently. Hampton comes in here 5-4 against the spread as a favorite. North Carolina A&T is 13-8 against the spread overall. They've covered some numbers here, despite only having a couple of conference wins here this season. They are coming in here 10-6 against the spread as an underdog. For Hampton here, meanwhile, they've gone under in 7 of their last 10. A&T's over in 9 of 16 games as an underdog. A&T's lost 10 of their last 12, but covered 7 of their last 10 against the spread. Hampton's covered 7 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams. Hampton also 8-4 ATS in their last 12 overall. They've gone under in 9 of their last 12. But I'm going to take this one over tonight, actually, with North Carolina A&T and Hampton. The two teams just met back on January 19th. It did not go over by a half a point, but Hampton did score 82 points in that one in an 82-61 win. I'm going to think that maybe A&T can close the gap a little bit here. I think Hampton might smoke these guys, actually. But anything can happen in this neutral court, this special game here on Friday night. All right, got anything in the chat? Let me know here with this one, with the Aggies in action here. And like I said, late game for sure, but should be pretty cool. Let's see what we got in the chat. Anything on this one? Okay. Mr. Wesker's got his plays in there. Yale, Harvard, and Michigan State all against the spread, and also Penn. All right. And Andre here is on Hampton. And I think that might be it from the crew here. Cal Dog is on the Aggies. Nobody interested in the Pirates here, huh? All right, man. I guess that's it here for Night Moves. And I hope that was a cool segment to cover those games here on Friday night. Hope you liked all those other picks as well. If you wanted those Olympic picks, you can rewind them a little bit there. And should be a fun day of sports betting. Maybe I'll hit the kitchen and do something here with a little bit of light card tomorrow. But got to get ready for that big Saturday card, and I'll be back tomorrow to preview the best games on the card for Saturday here. Also, we'll have more Olympic action as well on Saturday, the NBA Slam Dunk Contest and the Skills Challenge as well. Also, I want to add, on Friday night, the Unrivaled League will continue its one-on-one competition. Here we saw several women advance, and we do have matchups tomorrow. Here they will play down to, I believe, the semifinals here, or the quarterfinals anyway. This is a second round action. It'll be Kelsey Mitchell against Veronica Burton, Kelsey Plum against Natasha Heidemann, Paige Beckers against Arike Ogunbowale. Jackie Young will be up against Chelsea Gray. Alicia Gray will be up against Sanaya Rivers. Sonia Citron will be up against Ray Burrell. Brianna Stewart takes on Aaliyah Boston. And Shakira Austin takes on Aaliyah Edwards at Unrivaled one-on-one tournament on Friday night. I think it starts on True TV and then moves over to TNT. So not a lot of books are offering that, but I've seen some out there, and that's going to be fun. And just a little hint to the NBA, you're going to want to do this. You're going to want to have a one-on-one tournament. It's pretty good. Pretty good excitement there with some of those first games. You should have seen some of those first games that they had. Actually, if you didn't check it out, there were some good ones. Chelsea Gray won by a point. Shakira Austin won by a point. Paige Beckers lit up Kate Martin, by the way, for all the Kate Martin fans out there. Some of the dominating players, actually. Ogunbowale dominated Brittany Sykes, and Kelsey Mitchell rocked Rachel Branham there, and that's a fun tournament, so you can check that out tomorrow as well. And they've a lot of people. They got some big crowds actually at those games, at that tournament. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Really appreciate it. We got a little more action there. Justin was going to be taking Sacred Heart against St. Peter's there. And Will in the chat talking about the Aztecs here this weekend and their game. Really appreciate you guys in the chat. Thanks a lot. Will's watching curling. I got a big old target by my head here, so you know I'm watching some live curling action right now here between Canada and the United States going on here right now. And I'm waiting for some more action here tonight. Man, that Super G was off the chain last night. They had as many crashes as they did finishers there. All right. You know Kelsey Plum's going to rock here, Mr. Weskers. You better watch out. She might win the tournament here, actually. And, yep, Will, you might be right there. The Sun, they're trying to hang on, but it looks like they might move that team. Believe it or not, it seems amazing that you'd move a team out of Connecticut, but it's just not quite working out there. So, all right, Princeton money line for LALB. Man, I had a fun time here talking about some of these other games. Hope you enjoyed it as well. All right, don't forget, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Join me here this weekend. Get my 3-day all sports premium pass for $99. I'll make it worth your while. These are absolutely my best plays right now. And when you take a look at the handicapper leaderboards, I think I've been on top of the handicapper leaderboards here over the last couple of days with a pretty good run here right now this week at 23-12. Man, I wish we had some college baseball. Hey, that's going to do it here for the Night Moves show on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, the 50,000 subscriber juggernaut. And really appreciate you guys joining me here on the show. Back tomorrow with more Night Moves. And for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Night Moves.